farm and seafood products. Joining me now is the U.S. Ambassador to the European Union, Andy Puzder. Ambassador, it's great to have you this weekend.
Great to be here, Maria. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. First, let's talk about the trade deal. Where are we on that? Are you expecting Europe to come across and do this deal by July 4th?
You know, it took them a while. It's been about 9 months. So we lowered our tariffs to 15% back in September of last year. They're supposed to go to zero. But they had to get it approved by their House and their Senate, the Council and the Parliament, and that's now happened. They've been through what we would consider reconciliation, they call trilogue, and I believe it will be approved on the 15th or 16th of this month, a huge accomplishment for President Trump. This is really no other president could have gotten us a trade deal like this.
Well, it's incredible what he's been doing.
And, and it's a testament to the Europeans that they got it through this process. Can you imagine if we had to get a trade deal through the Senate and the House? It would be very difficult. They've done that, but they did that in response to President Trump. President von der Leyen worked with him. They get along great. And this will be a real accomplishment. It's really a hallmark of his administration, I believe.
Well, one of the things that the president has complained about are all these extra taxes that we see from Europe, like the digital services tax and other tax on American companies. But the European Union is now reportedly planning to hit Google with a record-breaking multi-million-dollar fine. It's citing that Google search unfairly favors Alphabet's own services over those of its rivals. What can you tell us about this? Is this an EU cash grab again?
So the Google and the other tech companies come to me regularly. They sit across the table and they say, Ambassador, can you help us? We love the European Union. We want to grow here. We want to bring the U.S. AI hardware stack to Europe because Europe wants to be in the AI economy and can't be in it without our hardware stack. But every time we turn around, there's a new regulation, or they move the goalpost on an old regulation, or they hit us with a $100 million fine. So Europe is going after these companies in various venues. But it's really hurting Europe. It's Google, for example, Meta. A lot of these tech companies bring their new tech to Europe 12 to 18 months later than they bring it to the rest of the world because of the regulatory overload when you deal with the European Union. So we're working very hard. Part of the trade agreement is to eliminate non-tariff barriers to trade. So we've done the tariffs, which really, believe it or not, was the easy part. Now we've got to deal with these regulatory barriers to trade, and one of them is going to be the DSA, the DMA, Digital Services Act, Digital Markets Act, pursuant to which they fine these large U.S. tech companies and are really hurting themselves more than they're hurting us or the companies. Yeah. They're really holding themselves back.
Well, the president has identified the issues that are most important to the American people, whether it be trade, the reliance on supply chains in China, and that also refers to critical minerals. And we need all these critical minerals, not just for technology and our devices, but for the military.
Yes.
Where does that stand right now?
So there are 3 agreements that we're working very diligently with the European Union on. One is trade, and it looks like we'll get there. The second was a critical minerals agreement, and we've actually signed a memorandum of understanding. Secretary Rubio and Maros Shevkovich, who's the trade rep from the EU, he came to the United States. They signed it in Secretary Rubio's office about 2 weeks ago. Now we're moving on to Pax Silica, which is an effort by the State Department to help bring Europe into the AI economy. They're on the fringes of it. They're way behind. We want them to partner with us so we can lift them up. We're working very hard to do that. This administration, I'll tell you, under President Trump, what he's done with Europe with the 5% spending on defense, which is incredibly important. Now this trade deal, critical minerals, bringing them into the AI economy. People talk about us contracting the relationship. I think we're expanding the relationship to the benefit of not only the United States, but of Europe. And I don't know another president that could have done this.
No, I don't either. Ambassador, let me get your take on the job overall. This is a new role for you. How's it going?
Well, you know, the president told me I'd love this job. I was skeptical, but it turns out I do love the job. It's very exciting. It's very interesting. Europeans are great to work with. You know, there's a lot of fluff at the top, a lot of noise all the time, but if you get down below the fluff, everybody's working together. And I think we're going to get a lot done. It's a very challenging job, but I'm enjoying it.
That is wonderful. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Andy Puzder joining us. We will see you soon.